Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. Stirling Soap Company, iced pineapple, nice menthol hit today. It's been pretty warm here today, so why not? I've had this for quite a while now. As you can see, it's not a whole lot used. It's 5.8 ounces of soap, it's about $15 American, and you can get Stirling now in Australia from the artisanarcade.com. So if you head on over there, Peter, who owns the company, owns that business, will look after you. Really nice guy. Or if you're in America or Canada or Europe, I'm sure there's other places over there. I know Magard Razors, top of the chain. I think there's Stirling as well. West Coast Shaving, I think they do Stirling. I'm not 100% sure. You can buy direct from Stirling as well. Very well priced, excellent performing. Now, I don't know whether their tubs are eco-friendly like the wraps that go on the replacement pucks, but saying on this, it just smells like pineapple cubes. I used to eat sweets when I was a kid, and the little kick of menthol on this is just absolutely perfect. I'm using my Craving shaving brush today. I absolutely love this brush. I call this the Siri brush. It's all the colours from the Siri logo from Apple, and there is the coin at the bottom, Craving Shaving, made by Charles. This was actually a gift, very, very kind gift that, well, pretty much for trying to sort of help him get him started in his channel, but to be fair, he did it for himself. I just gave him some ideas that I'd use and the stands and ways to do it that I'd used, and it worked. And I pretty much, believe it or not, the way I record my videos now in terms of how I hold my phone up in the mirror and everything else, it's the same as it's always been. I've never changed. I've had to replace the holder once. It did break on me, but it done probably 600 videos, 700, in fact probably more than that. Maybe 800 videos before it broke. It only broke recently this year. Right, there's the brush loaded. Loads of soap in there. It is a synthetic knot. It is the Dura knot. Oh, sorry, I'm doing a head and a face shave, so I'm going to try and squeeze them both into the same video. If not, if this one takes too long. Then I'll split them in two. I figured out that pretty much on this setting of 1080p, I think this is on or whatever on my phone, front facing camera, it's not the best quality, it really isn't. It's not as good as what I used to get from my iPhone, because I used to use the rear facing camera. But I am able to upscale it somewhat through Power Director into 4K, and it does a reasonable job. I've turned off beauty mode, but it still seems to work. As you can see, when I pull my skin down, the wrinkles almost disappear. So there is beauty mode on there, even though I've switched it off. It still has an effect on the camera for one reason or another. I don't know whether I've done something wrong, but I can't seem to get rid of it completely. And to be fair, I'm not too worried. I'm basically shaving at the moment daily. I am enjoying it. It is a bit of a release. Just sprinkle some water in. Very, very good quality soap. Scent strength is like a 7 or an 8. It's amazing scent strength, and as I've always mentioned with Stirling products, Stirling soaps at least, they are, in my opinion, the best lathering mentholated soap on the market. It doesn't really act any differently to a non-mentholated soap, so if you buy mentholated Stirling, it will lather the same as non-mentholated Stirling, really. I don't really see much of a difference. Whereas if you go to Barrister Man Arctique, Phoenix and Bow, PAI, anyone else that's got real high mentholated soaps. Now this is only menthol level soap. It's not the Glacial range, but even the Glacial range is very similar. The Glacial's a little bit more gloopy, but still not enough to make it feel like you're doing, it's a different sort of textured soap. Look how easy that lather is. I'm feeling the menthol big time. This one is just menthol, it's not Glacial, so it's not Stirling's strongest mentholated soap, but it's still got a hell of a kick to it. And that is a stunning lather, it really is. Massive fan of Stirling. You can see that there, how dense that is and glossy. Right, the razor. I might finish off with the Gillette today, but I've got a Frankenstein carve razor here. I've got the carve, aluminium handle, stainless base plate, open comb, B plate, and the brass top cap. And do you know what? I can't get it to focus. There we go. So that is pretty much what it looks like. I've not used the B plate open comb for a while. I've got a vintage Gillette Wilkinson sword. No, sorry, I've got a vintage Wilkinson sword blade in here, UK British made one. I'm not sure how many shaves is on it. And don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure this was sent to me from your mileage may vary, or YMMV shaves on YouTube. Martin Rowland, I think it is. I think it's the same guy, I'm not 100% sure. Great thing with Stirling is as well, as you can see, cleans out lovely and clean. Now this is 0.73 blade gap, I think, there or thereabouts. The one thing I'm just going to show you in a second, I just want to highlight with the carve open comb. It holds onto the lather superbly well. Look at the gloss on that, that's real dense lather. But it holds the lather well. I do find sometimes, in some occasions when I use the solid bar carve, that it doesn't quite hold the lather very well. It falls off a little bit off of the base plate. It's not an issue, but it's just something that I've noticed that I didn't really notice too much in the beginning. And I think it was actually CDB that picked up on it the first time. And I never really noticed it until I started using it more and more. But like I say, it doesn't actually affect the shave, it just affects the mess of your bathroom after the shave or during it. That's about it. Now of course, the configuration of the razor today with the brass top cap, the stainless base plate and the aluminium handle means it's top heavy, so it's definitely heavy at the head. Just empty the sink out, fill it back up, just a little bit of moisture, get loads of soapness. It really is an excellent soap. It doesn't get the credit it deserves really in the shaving circles. It doesn't get talked about a lot, Stirling. And of course, there's a lot of people out there now going down the vegan route or the vegetal route and steering clear of animal products. Stirling only offer a tallow version of soap, they don't offer anything else. Whether that'll ever change, I don't know. Most likely not. If you've got something that's working, people are buying it, why would you change it? But I have noticed there is a trend at the moment, not just in shaving, but in the makeup industry as well, I've noticed. Not that I wear makeup, but I do a little bit of reading up on stuff, and it does look like most companies, most places are trying to move away from animal testing, creating stuff out of animals as well, brushes and cosmetic brushes and shaving brushes, things like that. This lather's a bit dry, I'm just going to add a little bit of water. That's better. Just needed just a little sprinkle. This menthol is absolutely beautiful. Look at that ladder. Really doesn't get much better than that. Even now with some of the latest formulas from Noble Otter, Barrister and Mann, obviously I haven't tried things like, I haven't tried Talbot shaving and the new Declaration grooming base. And to be honest, obviously with my funds and not working at the moment, the likelihood is I won't be trying them anytime soon. By the time I try them, there'll be something else out, something better. It'll be interesting to see when Ruds gives his first 100 plus rating. Because essentially something's got to come out eventually that's better than his 100. That can't just be the best that'll ever be created. Or maybe it is. Maybe that is the pinnacle, the epitome of what shaving soap will ever be. Jack over at the virtual groom room, he's used it, really rates it. I think the base is called milk steak. It's got a lot of animal milks in it. And tallow. But of course, it only works for those that use animal products. I also read not an interesting post, but executive shaving in Glasgow, Scotland. I can't remember the guy's name that runs it. I think it might be Ian. Don't quote me on that. Sorry if I got your name wrong. But he's posted up that executive shaving will no longer be supplying Badger hair brushes, and all the brushes that they've got will be going on special to get rid of the stock, and they'll be going solely synthetic. Now, I've always been in a bit of a dilemma with this because I'm under no illusion that animal cruelty doesn't exist. In fact, I've just nicked myself right there on my little spot. Of course it exists, and of course it is part of this industry. I've got no doubts in my mind. I don't even need to watch videos. Unfortunately, humans are pretty much the cruelest animals on earth. Well, they are the cruelest animals on earth. But they're going fully synthetic, and sort of, in my mind, I'm thinking great idea, it's a good idea. But the problem with synthetic brushes is they're all plastic. The whole knot's plastic. And until some company out there managed to create a brush out of, just for saying sake, for talking sake, this stuff, I don't know whether it's possible. This bottle, this whole tube is made out of sugarcane. The whole tube. Is there a way of making a knot out of something that is all natural? I don't know. In some ways I wish I was smart enough to be able to create something, I really do. I've got all the ideas. Jesus. And I'm sure people have looked at it. In fact, in all honesty, I'm pretty sure there probably is something out there that just hasn't been released yet. Did a little bit of research on it. These people talk about vegan brushes and, you know, no animal testing, no animals were hurt, blah blah blah. Yeah, that's all good and well, but when you're pumping shit tons of chemicals into the air, whether you believe in the environment is depleting and all that anyway, it's sort of irrelevant. You can see the shit's going in the air, it's not good. Whether or not it is actually impacting the environment is, I mean, as far as I'm aware it is. But I'm no scientist, I don't know anything about it. And I don't pretend to really know what the deal is with it all, but at the end of the day, a plastic shaving brush that lasts 50 years or so and it's never going to degrade is in essence the lesser evil of, it's definitely the lesser evil when paired next to animal cruelty, no doubt about it. But it's still an evil in its sense, it's still causing harm to the environment, but it's still generally being produced out of China, where they don't really give a shit about polluting the earth anyway. I've seen enough videos, look at that. I nick that every now and then. Oh, fucking hell, I've got quite a few weepers actually. Any on this side? You know what that says? That means I'm going to have loads on the back of my head as well, probably. I do. So, I can only put this down at the moment. It seems to be blade choice. I think I've had bad shaves with the Wilkinson Sword Vintage before, and that felt very smooth. It really did. But what I'm going to do is grab my alum block, which is here. I'm going to wet my head. Grab my alum block, which there's not much left of it, Razor Rock alum block, and let's just rub this all over. Yeah, a lot of irritation at the back, lots. And there, surprisingly, where I cut the little spot, it's not really, I'm not really feeling it there, but then again, it's stinging everywhere else so much. Yeah, that's a real rough shave again. My skin feels nicer this time though, it doesn't feel like I've been cut up. Right, let's rinse that all off now. Well, hopefully that solves most of the issue. Closes up most of the little pores and weepers and things, but yeah, it wasn't the best of shaves today. My skin feels nice, it doesn't feel like my skin is irritated, it just feels like I've just got weepers. So hopefully that is just the case. Just going to empty the brush out. Another thing being as well, menthol. I do find menthol desensitises your skin when you shave, and I do generally tend to push a little bit hard, sometimes by accident. I'm not meaning to, it just happens. Right, the brush is all done. So yeah, it's definitely a blade issue. I don't think it's so much the razor. As you can see, I do have some blood on there. Well, it's not the razor, I know it's not the razor. I've had lovely shaves with this no matter what. Post shave from Stirling, top notch again. Let's see, I've got a few little weepers here and there, but I'll get rid of them. I'm going to keep that blade in there for the face shave as well. It'll give me a bit of a gauge as to whether it's the blade or not. And that's it, done and dusted. Iced pineapple from Stirling. I will be finishing off with this after the face shave. Iced pineapple aftershave balm. The brush is an absolute cracker. From Charles Bullock over at Craving Shaving. Makes beautiful brushes. There's not a single tooling mark on this. The knot's beautiful, the Duranot from PIA. I don't think you can get that knot anymore. I think Charles might have a few left, or he might have one or two left. I know he spoke about this recently. And the razor was the Carve Christopher Bradley razor. The trio of finishes. Got the brass, stainless and aluminium handle. Still a wonderful shave. Let's see, I've got a little bit of blood here and there, but nothing to write home about. I'll let that heal up. And I'll see you guys next time. Stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.